there's been a lot of response to Elon Musk leaving the administration. We tried to find a brain trust on the right who could delve into this for us. But what we did find was the Patrick Bet David podcast crew. Here they are talking about Elon Musk and what else are they?
The black eye, the failure of Doge, and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Fight till 3 o'clock in the morning, awake watching.
Okay, but you think that you get a black eye from a 4-year-old punching
You might
in the
have
face?
punched him in the face. Listen, again, we don't know the true story, but from looking at that behavior, I mean, it could be two things. He just got fired and he's listening to the boss keep talking.
How much credibility do you give to the fact that he's been running around with this quote-unquote daily medication box filled with ketamine, ecstasy, mushrooms, and Adderall?
Distraction. I mean, there's something really scary
You don't
here.
think that is
Okay,
any
wait. We
credibility?
should make this clear here. So they're talking about Elon Musk. What's the part about the black eye?
The black eye. So he was in. He had like a.
Oh, the black eye.
Yeah,
I thought they were saying black eye. Okay. So they're asking why Elon Musk had a black eye. They're, responding to the reports that Elon Musk is on ketamine and God knows what else, seemingly throughout the day. And they brought in their research expert. What's that kid's name?
It is Brandon Aceto, Valuetainment's head of research.
He's the head of research. Is PBD? It seems to be off today.
No, he'll.
Oh, he's
show up
there?
in a little
Okay.
bit. Yeah.
Mushrooms and Adderall.
Distraction. I mean, there's something really scary.
This is the head of research talking now.
You don't think that there's any credibility?
I don't care about it because of how scary what I actually think happened here. I think that this is so predatory because I think the Doge thing was a show because all he did was cut contracts, cut a few jobs, didn't touch defense, didn't touch Medicare, didn't touch Social Security. But what he did do is extract all of the data from the Treasury, from all the government departments, and then makes a deal with Palantir.
How do you know that he did that?
Which part?
They extracted all the information.
Because they got the data to go through all of that.
How do you know that though?
I researched it and asked ChatGPT and it said they collected vast amounts of data and asked Grok.
So I don't know. So you think he took the data from?
Pause it for a second.
That's the head of research.
The head of research.
I mean, he's right.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. I mean, that's the thing is that you could also, I sort of feel like if you're head of research, you should also be able to say, well, I saw this reporting in these 5 different things. If you're head of research.
Maybe mention the Intercept instead of ChatGPT and Grok.
If you're head of research, I feel like Grok and ChatGPT, it's fine, but I just feel like if you're head of research,
why don't they just have
if
Grok?
You're the deputy head of research, I can understand if you're just doing chat and Grok. But I really do feel like you got to say reporting. But the problem is that, and this is what's fascinating about this thing, is that Chat, GPT, and Grok and all of them, they will take all of their answers from the Washington Post or the New York Times or maybe the Intercept. And the problem is for right-wing people is that they want to be able to say, well, the New York Times, of course, is liberal. The Washington Post is completely, the Intercept is a bunch of communists. But it gets laundered through Chat GPT. Now, it takes away views and it's going to destroy the reporting business model.
Yep.
But it also launders it through. And so Grok says it's the case.
We're in this funny period where they haven't learned that saying Grok or ChatGPT says it is like saying, I Googled it. What more do you want from me?
I Googled it and found it in 5 different places and just combined it together. And these are the different sources.
How do you know that he did that?
Which part?
They extracted all the information.
Because they got the data to go through all of that.
How do you know that though?
I researched it and asked ChatGPT and it said they collected vast amounts of data and asked Grok.
So I don't know. So you think he took the data from the citizens of the United States to use in his own benefit long term?
Well, the most important thing for when you're building an AI is to get good data, and the biggest, most vast amount of data is what he had access to. So that's a pretty well established thing, is that he was able to acquire all that data. It's still really unconceivable how much he actually got, but it seems that he plugged that into XAI, and then merged XAI with X, and then partnered with Palantir, which Palantir is, like, we'll talk about that later, but that's like a straight up like CIA contractor that harvests our data, and it's probably like the biggest data center in the world. So that's scary for a whole bunch of reasons. But it seemed like the degree to which he had no interest in even touching the things that are truly wasteful makes me think that this whole thing was about the data from the first place.
Pause it for 1 second. Now, I just want you to imagine that if I was sitting there and I had said that stuff, all of these guys would just start going, "You're a communist! You're a communist! We're a communist!"
Come on, Sam.
Come on. Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you high right now? Are you high? Are you high? That guy.
This is why you
what's
lose.
the other guy's name?
This is why you
what's
lose.
the guy with the veins?
Vinny and Adam
Vinny.
Sosnick.
Vinny would be like,
yeah.
"Are you high right now? What are you doing? You absolutely out of your mind? This is the craziest thing I've ever seen."
So that was an interesting little spiel there from their Valuetainment head of research. Now Adam Sosnick comes in with a counterpoint.
Truly wasteful makes me think that this whole thing was about the data from the first place.
I think there's a different. I understand what you're saying.
Is it ridiculous?
I think Elon Musk got his little fix with working on the government. Looked behind the curtain and said, I want none of this. Do you understand that in December of 2024, before the inauguration, Elon Musk was the richest man in the world. His net worth was $486 billion, almost $500 billion. 3 months later, he lost $150 billion. He was worth $330 billion. Now the stock has just come back up. I think there's a part of an element of his team around him that's like, bro, you're losing $1 billion a day.
That's not the scorecard he
doing
looks
this.
at.
You don't think that he looks at his net worth and gives a shit that he lost $150 billion?
Can you pull up the PBD?
Pause it for a second. I mean, I'll tell you something. We've all been through this. Going from being able to buy several small countries to just being able to buy a couple of small countries freaks you out. What if you need to buy 4 countries and all you can afford is 2 countries?
Questioning of him, hey, there's stories about the drugs and all this other stuff, and his response about New York Times and, winner. Is this the one, right?
Yep.
Go for it. Watch this.
They mentioned that you had to deal with all the slings and arrows during your time at Doge. There's this.
Well, some of the people, some of the media organizations in this room were the slingers.
Well, so there is a New York Times report today that accuses you of blurring the line between.
Is the New York Times, is that the same publication that got a Pulitzer Prize for false reporting on the Russiagate?
Oh, nice.
Is it the same organization?
Yes, it is.
I got to check my Pulitzer counter.
It is. But Phil, I think the judge just ruled against the New York Times for their lies about the Russiagate hoax, and that they might have to give back that Pulitzer Prize. That New York Times, let's move on.
Okay.
I mean,
that behavior, do you think he's using it? Do you think he's on stuff?
I don't know.
Ketamine, do you
Yeah.
think? Yeah, but guess what? Do you give a shit?
No.
I don't give a shit.
No, I care much more about what he might have.
I don't. That's your business. It's like Glenn Greenwald. He's doing what in his personal life? You want to release a video because you want to use that as a way for...
Pause it for a second. Putting aside what we now know about what Patrick Bet-David's doing with his time watching what videos. We don't know what Elon Musk is doing in his personal life. We only know what he's doing when he's at the White House doing the job in front of the press. Like, you literally just watched a clip not of him in his home at his personal life, but rather in front of the press in the Oval Office.
In front of the most
next to the
important guy.
president, next to the most powerful man in the world, theoretically. It's sort of not what you're doing in your personal life. There's a difference between what's going on in your head and your personal life if you're taking this while you're at the job. I wonder if Patrick Bet-David would feel okay if everyone on that panel was taking ketamine every day and coming into work.
Hey, it's my life, man.
Hey, it's my personal life. Good.
I don't care what you're doing in your personal life, but if you have access to information and you are using stuff, and that information is given to you while you're on things, that is a problem.
Yeah, because Adam, you said he just came in, he has a little thing, and no. If he's one of the most, I mean, he's the richest guy on like that we know. What do you think his motive was for putting all that money to the Trump administration to win? So Trump wins. He's the number one backer. Okay, yeah, he helped with Doge and everything, but there's other. I don't think Elon got worked or used, because Brandon's making good points. He's getting what he's getting out of this situation as well. Every week there's another rocket being launched. They're doing low orbit satellites. Every week is another rocket being launched. He's setting up for something bigger for all the robots.
Are you happy he's no longer in the White House working with Trump?
I'm indifferent. Well, here's the thing. They ruined his whole, with Tesla, I'm happy that the stock went up, but look at all the crap that he's had to go through just to help Trump win, because he said that humanity was on the line.
Are you glad he's out?
I'm indifferent. It doesn't matter.
Are you glad he's out?
No, I'm devastated that Doge was seemed like a fake operation. Like, I was very excited about what it said it was going to be and like what it was like talking about doing.
What does Vivek look like now?
I was just going to talk.
Change the subject.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't, like, I love how they just sort of lied over the fact the guy who gave Trump basically 1/4 minimum of the money that he raised to run for president was installed and basically in charge of the government for 6 months. Whatever. I mean, I don't know. This just seemed weird.
And your head of research correctly identifies that it's for sort of malicious motives that should concern you. And you're like, well,
let's move on to
I
Vivek.
don't know about that. I mean, you make good points that I'm not going to really engage with, but also don't you feel sad for the cost of his companies going down?
Blaze Chadwell PBD show with everybody on ketamine would be hilarious. That would be awesome to watch. Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.